Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. In this video we're going to install Debian XFCE desktop right here. And we're going to do it. The Debian installer to me is it's a little tricky. It's not like it's undoable and you can do it, but it is a little tricky, and if you don't get some of it right, then you end up redoing the whole thing. But I have found, I believe, a Calamares installer for Debian, an official release, a live image. We'll go ahead and get started here, and we'll come back and talk about that. So I got Debian set up right now. I'll give it 4 gigabytes of RAM, 2 cores in my processor. I've enabled the EFI, give it the full video memory, and I've given it 52.5 gigabytes of virtual disk drive. So, okay. Alright, first option. Debian GNU Linux Live kernel. Debian Live with localization support. Graphical Debian Installer. Debian Installer. Debian Installer with speech synthesis. So, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the very first option there. Hit enter. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get in full screen here. Now we're back in full screen. Debian and Ubuntu are very close in how they work and do things. I guess basically because they're both based on GNU Linux. Alright, so give me my desktop and I'll be happy. I saw something. There we go. There's the installer. So go to Settings, Display, select 1680 by 1050, say Apply. Nothing to say keep it, so I'm just going to close it. Alright, oh, there we go. Now, you can see this is a typical XFCE desktop. I'm going to go ahead, if this will let me, drag that right there and go ahead and double click the installer. Okay. Now, you can see right away this is not the normal Debian installer. This is a Calamares installer for a Debian. If you had any problems with the Debian installer to start with, you're going to follow this link and get this one right here. Use the Calamares installer. One thing I'm not sure about, let's see, that would be under accessories, or no, it would be under system. I'm looking for G-parted. Not there. Settings, not going to be under settings. Accessories, BCD, no G-parted. Huh. Oh, they might have, what's it called? One KDE uses. Turn on, no. So I don't have an option in here to go ahead and graphically go ahead and partition and format the drive. Okay, so it's correctly selected American English for me, about Calamares 3.24 for Debian 10 Buster. Nice. American English, Debian support, and release notes. You can get to that from their homepage as well. Both of those. Alright, so it's selected Eastern time zone, and I'm in Central time zone. That will be Chicago. Select Chicago, hit next. English keyboard. You don't really have to do this as a test, but if there's any question, you should. Alright, that picked that up just fine. Alright, so now it's saying we got EFI, storage device, that is the virtual disk drive right there. And if we erase it, or if we use let the installer erase it, it's going to set up a 300 megabyte EFI and an 8.5 gigabyte of swap. So that's really too much swap, and it didn't give me a home drive. So I'm going to do the manual partitioning. Say next. I'm going to need a new partition table. See, my drive don't even show up here. So with a new partition table, and it did not correctly select MBR, so we're going to select GPT or GUID, say OK, and now we see the disk drive or the hard disk. So I'm going to say create, and this first one will be 512. File system will be FAT32. Mount point will be boot EFI. We also have a boot flag. Okay, great. I'm not sure this flag here is necessary. I don't think it's going to hurt. I don't think it can do anything but help. Alright, so I'm going to left click on the free space, say create, and here I'm going to give it 2048. That's 2 gigabytes of Linux swap. There's no mount point, and down at the bottom we have a swap flag. Click that on, tick that on, say OK. Highlight free space here. I got an even 50 gigabytes free. Click new space, and let's go 25, 195, and file system is ext4. That's going to be our root, which is represented by just a slash. This would be the equivalent of a C drive. Now, do we have our root? We do. Root flag, say OK. Left click on the free space, click create, leave that alone, leave the extension alone, the file system alone. Mount point will be /home, right there. Alright, and there's probably not a flag for home. At least I don't recall ever having seen one for home. There might be some out there. Alright, so now you can see we got 4 partitions. We got a FAT32 for our boot EFI. We got 2 gigabytes for swap, 24 gigabytes for our root drive /C drive, and then we got 25.5 gigs for our home drive or our D drive or our data drive. So I think we're good with that. We're going to click next. It's wanting my name, so I'm going to say Dennis. You put in your name. We'll select the password twice. And it didn't even warn me that that was a short password. That's kind of unusual. Usually it warns you that it's short. It'll let you continue, but it usually will warn you that it's short. And I'm not going to log in automatically for the sake of this demonstration. So we're going to say next. And here it's telling us everything it's going to do. Everything we've selected: American Chicago, English US, English US. Partition, we got EFI system, we got swap, and we got root, and we got home. We're good to go. I'm going to select install. Now, tell me, for those experienced folks that have installed Debian and like Debian, I love Debian, how much easier is this installer versus the normal Debian installer? To me, this was a breeze. I could show an 8th grader or an 8-year-old how to do this. The other one, like I said, it's not that it's overly complicated. It's just one of those installers where you take your time, try to understand what the options are, and make your best choice. And once you go do it a couple of times, you know what your best choices are. So at that point, it becomes easy. But here they've made it very easy to install a pure Debian. Okay, so I'm going to get out of full screen. We're on a roll here. Let me minimize this. Open up my web browser. Now, about Debian. What is Debian? Debian Project is an association of individuals who have made common cause to create a free operating system. This operating system that we have created is called Debian. I've heard it called Debian, and I've heard it called Debian. I think the most common way that I've heard it pronounced, Debian. Debian is what I feel good with. If I'm saying it wrong, Debian, I'm sorry. Please tell me the correct way. The line is Torvalds. So there's a lot of information on here just about Debian. Has got a tremendous amount of information, at least as much as Ubuntu, I would guess, maybe more, and I don't know. But they do have quite good documentation. Go back to their home page here. Okay, now how did I get to live images? All right, I'll show you. Go back. Network install. Right here under Getting Debian, I clicked on CD, USB, ISO images. And then I scrolled down and I got my image with a BitTorrent. Live install images. And right here, this is where I got it. And I will put this in the link, or in the description, the show link. Sorry. Let's go back to their home page here. Debian's been around a long, long time. One of the originals. Available versions of Debian. Packages, developments corner, documentation, installation manual. Here I'm pretty sure they'll be going over the normal Debian installer. This is one of those websites where you can actually just get lost. For me, I can follow. Once I follow 3 or 4 links, I forget what I learned up to that link sometimes, or how to get back to the original. So, to me, you should keep everything simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's the way I think most people prefer it. Not sure, but I do. Alright, so about Debian, Getting Debian, documentation, support, developers corner. Documentation, important part. Again, all this is going to be in the video and in the show notes. Like I said, you have all kind of information. There's not much you can't find out about Debian. Let's see something here. First, Debian release. Which Ackerman? Wiechert, Wiechert, one of those two. Ackerman succeeded Ian Jackson as Debian project leader in January of 1999. Debian 2.1 was released on 9 March 1999, so it's 21 years old, after being delayed by a week when a last-minute issue arose. This was written in 1993. How could that be? The first release was in 1999. A few issues arose. That's more than a week. 6 years. Not sure. Not sure how that. Click on the link and see. Brief history, September 2020. That don't help. In the beginning, August 16, 1933. The Debian project was officially founded by Ian Murdoch on August the 16th, 1993. There is also a scanned printout of that announcement. I don't know about y'all, but I can't read that. I might could read through it. This is just to associate the imminent completion of brand new Linux release, which I'm calling Debian. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't read that. Pronouncing Debian. Cool. The official pronunciation of Debian is Deb. C-Deb-E-N. Debian. Nice, like Debbie. Wonder if that had anything to do with it. Name comes from the names of the creator, Debian Ian Murdoch, and his wife, Deborah. There it is. Okay, well, that's interesting. That's pretty neat to know. Just a little tidbit for Jeopardy. Okay, so like I said, you can find all kind of information, and a lot of this I'm gonna put in the description below, and the links and as titles in the video. So now I get where this 1993 came in. So let me close this, minimize that, get it out of the way for a second here. See where we're at. Oops, there we go, running. Installing packages, 78% through. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back when this is finished. Okay, so the installer finally got finished there, and it closes out with this final screen. An option is ticked to restart now. I've seldom do that. I do it, but let's see, we're going to restart, and it should ask me either to remove the USB, it thinks it's a USB, and then hit enter, or it could just reboot. And since it's EFI, it will bypass that ISO anyway. Normal BIOS legacy mode, you would definitely have to replace that if you had your BIOS set up to boot to USB first. If you have your BIOS set up to boot up from your hard drive first, which is a typical setting, then you wouldn't have to remove it either. Something's happening here. Unable to read, fragment cache, unable to read, blah, 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 error, input, output error, sectors. What's happening here? Unable to read page. Control C do anything. Seems to have lost all. Squash error. I'll reset it and see what happens. Okay, that basically just started us over. So now let me get back in full screen. And I doubt it's going to keep the same resolution settings. Well, it didn't register me. Do that with a lowercase, see what happens. There we go. So it will allow you to use a capital. Welcome to the first start of the panel. Choose below which setup you want for the first startup. Use default config or one empty panel. I'm going to use default config. Immediately I am going to go to settings, display, and reselect 1680 by 1050, say OK, OK, and there we go. So, up in the upper right hand corner in the sys tray, we got the option to shut down. We can change those options, I feel. Yeah, switch user, put anything in there you need, or take out everything you don't, or leave it just like it is. There's our Ethernet connection, our time, and it is 10:15. See, tell it to show the AM. That's probably good for now. See what we got in our dock. Minimize all windows. Terminal. File manager probably. Yep. And that will be Thunar. The web. Application finder. And menu. Yep. Pretty sure that's going to be Thunar. Yep. Pretty sure this is going to be the XFCE terminal. Yep. XFCE4 terminal. Alright, so let's just see right off the bat what memory usage on a fresh, hadn't done anything. This is our fresh boot. It says we're using 361 megs. Wow! I don't know if that's going to change or not, but you never know. It could stay there. Alright, so let's see. Uname -R give us our kernel. 4.19.0-10. Alright, and then DFH will give us our disk usage. We had a 25 gig to start with. It used 6.5 gigs for freshly installed. And we see we got our EFI system and we got our swap. Nice. Alright, let's tell you, let me do this real quick. Oops, wrong one. Tell you what, let me just open up the panel and go to panel, unlock it. I should be able to grab it, move it out of the way for a second here, and leave it right there. Go back to panel 1, unlock it, it is, grab it, pull it down. Let's increase the size of it a little bit. Man, it didn't move until I let go. That's kind of a weird feeling. Alright, automatically hide the panel. Opacity items here we could add. Let's see if we could add Whisker Menu. Yep, right there. Alright, let's see if we got the orange clock. We do not, but you could download it, I am sure. So I'm not going to add or subtract. We'll leave the, for the purpose of this, we'll leave that just like it is. Panel 2. I'll take it up to the top right there. I bet we can do that vertical like that. Move it right there. Yeah. That remind you of somebody's, if you've been in YouTube a while and you got some great people you follow, one of them probably has a setup just about like that. Alright, so I'm going to lock that. That's good for now. Go back to all settings. Under appearance, we got show image buttons, enable event sounds, fonts. We can change our font sizes, custom DPI settings, icons. Doesn't come with a whole lot, which is alright by me. I would much rather it not be bloated full of stuff that I'm just going to have to install. Other than that, this is the typical XFCE panel. I'm not really seeing anything that's different. Session startup, removable drives. Let's see what they did with that. Let's mount them out. And hot plug and mount them with removable media when it's inserted. Power management, let's turn that off. Not on a laptop, so I really don't need that kind of stuff. And I would hate to be in the middle of showing you something and all of a sudden it goes into what you call it, hibernation. Okay, so we do not have mugshot or GNOME disk utilities installed by default, but I think we could probably get that. There's the terminal right there. Let's see something here. Actually, see if there's any updates. And there should not be, but it is possible. I say there shouldn't be because it took a little extra time. Alright, so there is an update. 170 megs. I'm going to say go ahead and do it real quick. Okay, so while that's updating under accessories, this here, I'm not sure what that is. I will put it in the description. Under settings, we got mostly the same with the panel. Application Finder, bulk rename, clip man. I guess that's XFCE4, and I'm not familiar with that, but I will get familiar with it, and there'll be something up here or over here telling you what it is. Mouse pad, that's cool. Multi-Lingual Terminal, that's if you speak real southern drawl, this maybe will help you get that away. No, it won't. It's multilingual. Lingual, the languages. Screenshot, sensor viewer, TIEX terminal. Now, I've seen this. It's compatible. The reason why it's even here is because it's compatible with something. Can't remember what it is. Let's see, I wonder. This one told me. Nope, not that. This. Now, let's see what it says. Start input method. I have to research it. It'll be here. You'll find out what it is. I will too. Alright, under education, we got Golden Dick. That sounds like something you dictate to. Let's find out. Kind of a questionable name. Not opening, I can see that. It's under education. Golden Dick. Never did open. There we go. Golden Dick. Let's see what that is. About dictionary lookup program. Huh. So dict does not stand for dictate. It stands for dictionary. Okay, I can live with that. That's fairly nice. All right, under education, we got Golden Dick. We got dictionary, and we got LibreOffice Math, which indicates that we're going to have the full LibreOffice suite. Under graphics, we got LibreOffice Draw. We got the Ristretto image viewer, and we got Xane to work on scanners. It's pretty nice. Internet, we got Firefox extended support release. Basically means it does not. Firefox does updates like every 6 weeks. This will not. This is extended support. It's more stable, I would think, and that's why you see it here on the Debian desktop. Under multimedia, Xpaso, Pro Media Player, Quadlibe, and XFBurn. Okay. Under Office, we got the full LibreOffice suite, just like we thought we did, and another dictionary, along with the Golden Dictionary. Quadlibe, not now. I don't want to set up anything right now. I just want to show it. This is for your music enjoyment. Music player and a music library manager. I just recently found this, and it's actually a fairly good program, along with the Xpaso. Let's see, is there an about? Probably not. I'm not seeing one. Here we go, maybe here. Oh, about. Audio metadata, or metadata editor, depending on if you're a Star Trek fan or not. If you are a Star Trek fan, that's data. If you're not, it's probably data. Alright, Pro Media Player, that comes in with XFCE, a very good music and video player as well. Okay, under Multimedia Office, we got the full multi-suite. We got under System, we got bulk rename, the Start Input Method, FCITX, Multi-Lingual Terminal, Print Settings, so it's got printer and scanner support. Sensor View, that comes in with XFCE. Task Manager, do we have? Do we have HTOP by default? Do not. Sudo apt install. Didn't I see where they had bash top in their repositories? Oh, they could not get a lock. I'm not sure. This is through downloading. You should have been able to get one. I'll leave that open. Fact. Let's see. Bash top, HTOP. And GNOME system monitor. And I'll add anything else. I'll think about it real quick here. In my opinion, a desktop should have more than just one, not sure, task manager, one way to monitor the resource usages. They should automatically have this on XFCE. I found out the hard way. If you remove this, uninstall it, you're going to crash your system. It's an integral part. And I didn't know what I was doing. It kept warning me that it was an important piece, and I kept saying delete it anyway. I know better now. So I usually just ignore it, and I get my own system again. UX term. Let's open up Synaptic. Get my trusted password, unable to get a lock. Now I ran across this not long ago. Bash top. Unable to locate package bash top, so it's not in the repositories. Huh. Where did I see that? I saw that the other day. Huh. It's Ubuntu. Ubuntu has bash top in their repositories. That's what it is. But Debian does not. Debian is slower, apparently, to upgrade their packages or repositories. And that's one of the beautiful things about Debian. It's very stable. And if you don't have to have the bleeding, newest, cutting-edge software, Debian is probably the operating system for you. All right. Let's see what it did with HTOP and GNOME System Monitor. There we go. Let's see what they say. Under Resources, GNOME System Monitor says that right now we're using 675.4 megabytes of its 4 gigabyte RAM. Under 5% CPU usage. HTOP is reporting 444 megs. So almost a 200 meg discrepancy between the two. And I always see that. I'm not sure. It's got something to do with what it's actually reading and what it's not reading. Let's look at their wallpapers. Surely they got more wallpapers than that. There we go. Let's go. File system. User. Share. Backgrounds. XFCE. So there's two. Go back to share, since there's listed under wallpapers or something different here. There we go. There, we got some. There we go. Maybe here. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Images. Open. There we go. but that's ugly and I don't want it. Although it's blue, I love it. Future prototype. Images open. Future prototypes, the same. Wow, I'm wasting my time here. Wallpapers. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. See what that does. Well, that's getting a little better. A little childish here, but that's cool. Yeah, I can deal with that one. It's not water, but it's alright. Okay, cool. Nice. But that's Debian. XFCE desktop on Debian Linux. Let's see, we didn't open up Synaptic. Is that the only? This is telling us what it's going to do. The software on your system is organized in so-called packages. Package Manager enables you to install, to upgrade, or to remove software packages. You should reload the package information regularly. Otherwise, you will miss important security updates, etc., etc. Alright, so we're going to reload. I know what it was, the Calamares installer. When it was updating or terminal was in use, it would open up the Discover Store or PAMAC. It would open it up, but as you just saw, that's not normal. Normally, when the terminal is being used for updates or whatever, Synaptic won't even normally open. So what else does it? Synaptic. Well, I don't really know what to look for here. Let me look for Nomax. Left click on it, mark it for installation. It's telling me all these are the dependencies and those will come in. And when you're ready, obviously you can do more than one. And we're going to apply. Automatically close when it gets through. So I'm not sure what Calamares installer had to do, why PAMAC opens up while you're doing an update in the terminal. It's just not typical by no means. Well, Nomax is usually a fairly small. There it went. Alright, let's close out of here. And out of curiosity, go to graphics and let's open up Nomax. It should ask me for my default language, and there we go. Wonder. I'd have to go into the root folder. It's okay. Alright, so you can see you can change this menu to your Whisker menu, whatever you prefer. You can leave it just like that. To me, this is to Windows 98-ish. Windows 98 start menu was okay if you edited it and made it your own. And you could do that. But let's see, like for instance, can I drag? See, I can't even drag that. I can drag it to my desktop, but I couldn't. Let's see what happened. Will it even open? Nope. Where'd that come from? Education. Okay, so I mean that's about it. This is Debian. I thank you guys very much for watching, and I would try Debian. If MX ever fails on me, I will probably go to a pure vanilla Debian. Bleeding, completely fresh, and it software for my new hardware makes me no difference. I run old hardware, probably always will. And so the older stable stuff works just fine for me. I don't see anything wrong with that. But like I said, I'm not buying brand new AMD processors or what have you every day. So, you know, if you need a bleeding edge, I think there's actually a way to get bleeding edge. Let's see. How was that? There was some way. that you could actually get. Maybe it's, I don't remember right off. Color response distribution. I always prefer the highest version. There is a way to get newer packages in Debian. You're not just absolutely stuck with it, with whatever came in by default. I just don't remember what that is. By the time you see this video, maybe I'll have it right there and you can see it. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Bye.